Hello YouTubers, Joe Kersey here on May 7th, 2019. It is Election Day, or primary election day in Ohio anyway, and perhaps in other states as well. Here we have another beautiful day on the Island of Peace on Alum Creek. Yeah, I will say that sort of the harmony and charm was broken up slightly a few seconds ago by a bird taking a large dump in my wine glass. So that sort of ended that little bit of festivity for the moment. Here, allow me to land and get in the picture. So I went up and voted today around 10:30 in the morning. And then I went over to Giant Eagle to make a little bit of a wine run. God bless us all. I may be slightly off level, but you know, that wouldn't be anything different, as most of you know by now. So they had new voting machines. Now we had, you know, it was a touchscreen machine, although we have used touchscreen machines before. But it printed out your vote on like a little strip that you could look through the window. You know, you'd vote, and then you look and go, and like tell you who you voted for whatever. This gave you a printout, but then give you a printout to the very end. Then you took the printout over to another row of machines and attendants, and you feed it into this scanner, or at least, you know, like a paper tape eating thing. I don't know if it shreds it or not. It probably doesn't. That apparently counts that vote right there and then, like on site. It doesn't have to be, you know, it's like, I don't know if they have a way they telegraph that result to the central office or not. But these things, instead of being standalone machines, they're like in pods. They're like little condominium associations of voting machines. So in any cluster you've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You have 8 of them on any one sort of voting machine island. So I'll be interested to see how the people respond to that. I think it's probably a little bit better of an idea than what we had. It was only a Republican primary today. There weren't any issues on, so it's like you either voting in the Republican primary or you didn't. Or you were going to switch your registration. I mean, I don't know if you can switch it on the day. I think you can. You can just go up and ask for, you know, they say, what ballot do you want? And I said, Republican ballot. Says we have to ask it that way because, you know, people have to declare what they want. Okay. We only had, we only had 2 races under contention. One was for municipal court, Delaware County Municipal Court. And then one was also for the Delaware County Municipal Court clerk of courts. And then the second municipal court seat was non-contested, at least as far as on the Republican primary side. I mean, there may be a Democratic opponent in the general election, I don't know. this county is pretty much more or less a one-party county. So if you want to participate, you participate in the Republican side, or you don't really participate at all. Well, it's kind of like the South was there for years. I mean, you either were a Democrat or you didn't participate at all. That's changed. This area is changing too, so I imagine 10, 12 years from now that may not be the case. Probably won't be the case. You know, it's like 74. I mean, it's like a perfect day. So I got back home about, gosh, I left a little after 10. I got back home by 11:30, quarter to 12. I don't know why it took me so long. Oh, I don't know. I got looking for bread over at Giant Eagle. That's what happened. Like a nitwit, I did what I did several months ago. Well, a year and a half ago, probably now. And I walked around the entire store trying to find the bread aisle, and I never found the bread aisle. I wanted to buy 2 loaves of rye bread. That's what I wanted. Well, so I checked out with my wine, and I asked one of the assistants there on the way out the door. I said, just out of curiosity, where's your bread? And they said, well, it's in aisle 1. And you look around, you don't see aisle 1 unless you stand at just the right angle to see, like, what. And it's not even a full aisle. It's like, no, thank you. It's like a half aisle. It's a secret aisle. Well, that's because they've got one of these bread boutique things set up over in the corner of their store, and they want, you know, people who get frustrated at not being able to find bread to go spend money at their bread boutique. Well, they'd be better off running down to Panera if that's the kind of game they're going to try to play. Interesting story about that. About 3 or 4 years ago, Panera offered to the churches that, you know, ran food banks and contributed to food banks, free leftover bread, you know, because they bake it fresh every day. So the next day, they've got all this leftover bread. And said, if you just come down and pick it up, we'll give it to you. And of course, the whole grains or happy grains, and good health Nazi crowd at church said, oh, we want the people who don't have money to be eating really good quality healthy bread. Okay, that's fine. I think that might be a bit of cultural projection there, but, and turns out the People in Need program, you know, the food bank said, don't bring us that Panera bread, because the people who come in asking for bread won't take it. They want white bread. They want just plain old white bread. Well, that saved a couple of people a lot of time in their morning from making that little Panera run. Yeah, I did clean out the glass after the bird crapped in it. Took me a while to figure. I had to kind of hold it up and sort of figure what it was. Because it was like plop. You know, that uric acid is pretty dense. It sinks pretty fast. So on Thursday at 1:20, I've got an appointment with a sort of a general doc, general like family practice / sports medicine doc. She's an MD. She's been at it 9 years. She's right down the road. Ideal situation for me. They texted me this morning to be sure I'm going to show up, and I said yes. So that's that's the next big thing in Joe's week. My son, meanwhile, sent me a picture of, he's having some work done in his house. The whole place is repainted inside. And then some general fixture stuff in one of their bathrooms at least. And the contractor sent him a picture today of after they took the medicine cabinet off the wall in one bathroom, the upstairs bathroom. There's just this big hole. I mean, somebody's used the medicine cabinet to cover up this huge hole. Yeah, it doesn't really seem to, it's not like it looks like there's any pipes running in it. It wasn't like they tried to use that to access pipes. You know, there's a really crappy electrical connection between the outlet and then the light over the, well, it would have been over the medicine cabinet. I mean, which wasn't even wrapped in electrical tape, although they did use a little screw-on connector thing. I'll be interested to see how that plays out. That sounds like it almost rises to the level of an oh my. So yesterday I watched Season 8, Episode 4 of Game of Thrones and screen recorded it. I have not yet rewatched it. I've been having fun reading all of the commentary in the Daily Telegraph about it. You know, they have their official reviewers, and then they have their volunteer reviewers. And then you had the latest one today was, why did they kill off the only empowered black woman in the show? And then there was this whole thing about people of color getting the short end of the stick on Game of Thrones. Give me a break. Then there was a much nicer piece about the Scorpion weapon and the development of these really powerful crossbow spring tension projectile heaving weapons starting around 400 BC up into the advent of gunpowder. And I found that very interesting. And very politically correct, even if you knew that perhaps some of those projectiles are hitting people of color. What a convoluted phrase. Give me a break. People. People. Just people. Okay. Well, it's a beautiful day. The creek's sort of mid-range. The geese have been pairing up and wandering around together on the creek bank. So have the ducks. The deer seem to be laying low for a while, but they come and go. You'll go maybe 10 days and not see them, and then 3 days in a row they'll be here. They've been banging away over at the Acorn Farms nursery all day today. I don't know what they're building. Well, I can't see now because the leaves are in. Yay! Alrighty, I'll say bye-bye YouTubers now, and enjoy the rest of the day, folks.